the collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
DeAndre Levy is one of those linebackers who makes everyone around him better when he's on the field.
Second down following the incompletion. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And that's incomplete.
Get to a quarterback of this magnitude.
A great franchise quarterback, but complete. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year, and that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they?
It changed everything for them because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a 3rd down back, the guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner, and I think that limited his effectiveness at doing what he does best. Amir Abdullah was drafted to be their lead runner. They keep him healthy. That'll help the Lions offense in 2017.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A toss to Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. It's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that brings up 4th down.
That's a really fine play there, because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, this one's knuckling, and it just does get over the crossbar. He didn't get much of it, but he got it to go. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? That's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them. And the 2016 NFL Comeback Player of the Year was Jordy Nelson. He had a fantastic year after the knee injury in 2015. Well over 1,000 yards again. And once again, he was the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers.
NFL high 14 receiving touchdowns. What dimension does he add that makes them so good on offense?
Dependability as well as speed. All right, Jordy Nelson's the type of guy who can run any route you want, yet he can also take the top off of a defense, as we like to say, by running past people. It's a heck of a combination to deal with. Plus, Aaron Rodgers knows when he gets in trouble, he just looks for Jordy Nelson, and 9.9 times out of 10, he'll find a way to get open.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. And it's 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Back to the air on 2nd down. It looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. And it's Glenn Dix with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones They find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They go with Abdullah again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This is Reddick on the screen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills? And it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And Tate just finished his 7th NFL season, first 4 in Seattle, last 3 Detroit, and each of those 3 years, 90 or more receptions, finished this season with 91 catches, over 1,000 yards.
And I saw him expand his game in 2016. I saw him operate out wide in the slot. Also came into the backfield and got carries and then ran routes from there. His yards after catch really jumped back up in 2016, and Golden Tate has shown that he is more than capable of being a #1 receiver in the NFL.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and it usually gives you an advantage in running it.
They go back to Reddick. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Throwing is Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On first down, Rodgers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were locked to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. Ooh. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. Second down now after the incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw, it's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. A couple of years ago, Cobb signed that 4-year, $40 million deal. Since then, the numbers have been down a little bit, although last year only played 13 games. Yeah, and I wouldn't be as concerned with the numbers dropping if I were a Packers fan, because remember, Devontae Adams has developed as a player, and his numbers have gone up. You got Jordy Nelson back to full health in 2016. He's going to catch a lot of passes, almost caught 100 in that season. Jared Cook at tight end. That's a new weapon Green Bay didn't have for a while. And don't forget, Randall Cobb spent some time as a running back when all the injuries hit the backfield. So his versatility is still a major plus for Green Bay. Rodgers to throw once more. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Cook in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop in 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because... This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
31 yards on the punt there. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
His pass caught at the 4. It's a nice pickup, a 12.
Quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? First and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistent.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. LaTroy Guion able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. A second down run for Abdullah. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there. And it's third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got it.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.